Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome to Scotty Ray's Morning Weather as we bring in Monday, March the 30th. Only a couple of days left, and we'll be into April. Hopefully, April Fool's Day will just kind of be lackluster. Everybody will stay off the pranks, and it'll just kind of float on by us, and things will be great. We'll tell you all about what's going on with the coronavirus this morning. There's lots to update you on what's going on in the community nationwide as well. We'll get to that in a few moments. Weather-wise, well, first off, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Hoopers on 22nd Avenue and Rick Justice Automotive, for bringing us the weather this morning. As we turn to it today, expected to be a high of 78. Tonight is what we'll have to watch as we take a look at what the National Weather Service in Jackson is saying. Thunderstorms after 1 a.m. is what we should expect. Possibility always with those when they come in with tornadoes. But that Morton area west over into Louisiana past Vicksburg is what they're saying at this point. As we all know, Mother Nature can change a little bit, and this line can be pushed a little closer to us before it's all said and done. But that's what we're expecting so far after 1 a.m. It always happens in the middle of the night, doesn't it? Those thunderstorms. So we'll watch that. Should it turn bad, we'll wake up and give you street-by-street coverage of that. Tonight, as I said, 70% chance of showers continuing into tomorrow with a 90% chance of rain. Gusty, but a high of only 77 with sunshine returning on on Wednesday is what we'll have there with a high of about 70. So that is a lot cooler there. As we go to radar this morning, we don't have any showers in our immediate area. We look out to our west, east of Dallas, some showers starting to develop north of Shreveport, Texarkana area. But in our immediate area, we're showing things all clear at the present time. A little bit of rain down here south in Alabama, but overall we're really good. So a lot cooler this morning, into the 50s. I want to say tonight, maybe 40s. Yeah, that'll be strange for us, won't it? Good morning. I hope your day is treating you extremely well as we get this week started. The coronavirus is just everywhere, and we keep stressing wash your hands, make sure you do this no matter where you go. Of our stories as we start this morning, Wednesday, they're going to set this up in the Meridian area for a drive-through testing clinic. Now, you can't just jump in line and be tested. You'll have to set this up beforehand with the University of Mississippi Medical Center, UMCC. They got an app that you can register on, or you can phone them if you've got the symptoms to be tested on this. They have not said where the site will be in the Meridian area just yet. So that's coming within a couple of days to Meridian if you want to be tested. And I do not have how many they can test in a day, but you'll stay in your car and go through the line. So we'll see how that works out. And this next story is, if this can happen to anyone. Joe Diffie passed away yesterday. We all know him. He was huge during the 90s. His breakthrough song that came in back in the day was Home. Touching song. Rolled into If the Devil Danced in Empty Pockets, He'd Have a Ball in Mine. Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox. If you'll remember, he sang at Davy Allison's funeral, Ships That Don't Come In. Back in the 2000s, Debbie and I brought him in for the Rock and Roadhouse tour, along with Tracy Lawrence and also Mark Chestnut to the Lauderdale County Agri Center. I hope you got to see that show. Joe was just one of us. Now, as I said, if this can happen to Joe, it can happen to anybody. He was diagnosed with it and passed away within 48 hours. So, sad news. Joe was 61, and he will be missed. So, our hearts go out to him and his family. As we go on with our stories this morning, Trump says he's extending the social distancing through April 30th, through the end of the month. So keep washing those hands, step back, don't touch as many people, stay 6 feet away. The quarantine, curfew in Meridian is still going on from 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. Every day. So keep those distances, no more groups bigger than 10. So the best that we can do is bear through this, and hopefully I'll make it through it here in the area. We'll go over those numbers in just a minute because they keep rising for the state and for Mississippi, Lauderdale County, all of the surrounding area here. Those numbers keep getting larger and larger. As we look at this, Florida is taking that next step. When you roll into Florida, they've got checkpoints set up, and they're checking for tags that are from New York and those areas, and they're saying, hey, if you come from these areas, you've got to be self-quarantined, give us your name, your number, or face jail time. What do you think? maybe that's the right thing to do to handle this. But it is getting bigger and bigger. So Florida doing it. And I want to say that Texas is the next to start doing the same as well. She's in the jailhouse now. A Pennsylvania woman went into a grocery store and sneezed and spit on the produce. She ruined $35,000 worth of food. They had to throw it away. They didn't know. It was a prank. But she's been arrested and charged, rightly so. I don't know how the grocery store will get back their money if insurance kicks in. Whatever the case, it still costs for someone to go in and pull these pranks. And they need to set some examples. Don't you agree? I think so. To cut out a lot of this licking stuff and spitting. What is the generations coming to? This needs to stop. So let's make an example and curb this from happening anymore. What they're telling us now is no city, no state is going to be spared on this as this coronavirus rolls through our community across the United States. What we've got now, Massachusetts with 44 deaths. They have 4,200 cases. Michigan, 112, 4,600 cases. And what they're telling us now is Louisiana. Of course, they've got it all over the state, but it goes back to Mardi Gras. Where everybody got infected, they went out and spread it. So if you were at Mardi Gras, check yourself. Make sure that you've quarantined yourself, you're wiping down things and keeping away from people. Very, very contagious stuff that passes on. And this is the states that they've got listed right here. Of course, Michigan, very high. Who's going to be the next one? Illinois, Louisiana. Louisiana, that's pretty strong, and Florida as well. So we watch this closely as it spreads across the United States. Next, we look into Trump tweeted out yesterday afternoon, we're not going to pay. Of course, the royal couple said that they were moving to Canada. Now they've changed their mind and said they're going to move to L.A. And they've landed and they're getting set up. But the U.S. says, nuh-uh, we're not going to pay for your security. That's on you. You could see Trump's tweet there where he said he does respect the Queen, but he ain't paying and the American people shouldn't have to. And I agree with that. This is different for the folks out in the Midwest. Busch Beer is offering free beer if you go adopt a pet. The way the rules work, they'll pick 500 winners from this. You have to prove to them that you've picked up a pet or an animal from a shelter there, and they'll give 500 winners a prepaid debit card of $100. And they'll take submissions from now through April the 25th that you've adopted a pet and get some free beer. Again, that's out west is what they're doing. Maybe that is exactly what you were looking for. And this, who doesn't remember Urban Cowboy? If you'll look at these views here on the left there, that's the view outside this condo where he went with her, what was her name, Pam in the movie, and they were looking over Houston area. That condo is up for sale. They had it listed at $750,000. It's down to a mere $699,000 now. If you always wanted to live in Houston and face that traffic, now is your time. I don't think so. I've been in Atlanta. I've been through Houston, and I can't say it was enjoyable at all. Not that downtown area. It takes, an hour and a half to 2 hours just to get through it on the interstate. It's not quite for me. But if you're a big Urban Cowboy fan, that's the place for you to stay. Good morning to you. As I've talked about what all's going on with the coronavirus, let's go next here and look at our cases. There's been so many of this. We go back here and look over at this. 758 cases in the state of Mississippi right now. We're up to 14 deaths. We go here at Lauderdale County. We're up to 15 cases now. And as I said, they're going to be setting up that drive-through service for you to be checked if you think you've got it. And you'll have to register with the University of Medical. And then also they got an app. You can either call them, and either way that they'll set you up on that. That's the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Let me say that right. UMCC. Go to their website. Figure all that out. Kemper, due north of here, 1 case. Up in Noxubee, 2 cases. Neshoba is up to 4 cases. Newton is still hovering at 1, and Clark County has 1 case at this point. Expect these numbers to rise today. 14 deaths, 758 cases. There's going to be more, and it will continue. As we look at that world map here of where we're at, 725,000 worldwide, 34,000 deaths, and 152,000 people have been cured. The United States is up to 143,000 cases by itself. Italy coming in second with almost 100,000 cases. This is not getting better. It's getting worse as we zoom in on. Look at all this red. And, of course, it's mostly to the east, New York along this coast, Chicago area. But Mississippi has got a bunch there. Look at that. Florida, down on the coast, Miami. It just goes on. And what we talked about a minute ago, there is no place that will be spared from this. Every city, every state is going to have this. So wash your hands, keep that distance, and we'll all get through this together. But again, as we recap the weather this morning, it's going to be a nice day. 78 is going to be our high. We do have those rain chances moving in tonight with thunderstorm activity after 1 a.m. It should be west of us, but there is a strong chance, as always, that this stuff can ease in on us, and we'll be here to keep you track with that cooler weather this week. So that's what we're looking at on the weather. A big thank you to Hoopers and Rick Justice Automotive for being a part of it. And thank you for spending part of your day with me here with Scotty Ray's Morning Weather. As always, we'll keep you up to date with the very latest when it comes to weather.